In a speech at which she sat on her hands, he revealed his daughter's energetic past, pulverizing concrete chiefly. It extended to hanging out of bedroom windows on botted sheets, opening pickle jars furiously, a vast hinterlander experience, some of which were suitable for this stinger, most of which were not. Their prospective husband, stodge-fueled, drink-wet, but more and more companionable than ever in his wedding suit, played along with the convivial atmosphere, slid down the chair. Did he fear more than he was letting on? But in aura he should have done, but in the gaze of Specs it was hard to see his eyes, and he'd had a few besides. It was said that in times of angry confrontation she had a very good command of the idiom. She'd give an inch in battle, and her dialect straggled that of the tribe she grew up in, plus more exotic hoodlums. She could give as good as she got, and half of it was aimed directly at the gut. She fought not on established rules but below the belt, and swore like a navvy. She parroted not platitude when her backer was up, and her damned too. And I'll tell you now, I don't think he knew what he was letting himself in for. Nor did the deluge of the dad's smot get through, nor the best man's insults, the gist of which, though much without it, referred to the sledgehammer her nickname was in her younger days. Maturity brought change, the battering ram. How useless were all comers up against her force. They were here, some of them, in pools of blood, sporting unhealed wounds. See them propping up the bar with the aid of the broomstick so they don't collapse. See them twitch at the slightest noise beside their ear. They wear a permanent nickel-aged expression, faces as if seeing the summit of a Himalayan crown and never quite come down. Eyes that saw the glory, took ayahuasca in the deep Amazon, when 3 rounds with George Foreman, young, at his peak, alight and zonked. With all vanquished, brown to bits in her wood-chipping mouth, she turns to hear of Letty's disposition, open mouth, handshaped like a cheese slice for something different. She couldn't easily work out what it was that attracted her to Treble in the first place. He didn't walk, he slouched. He lingered in the doorway when she barged in, and she swore she walked right through his transparency, like people do when going through a rain shell. He said, "Go after you," when she'd gone through already, and his words were an echo of her actions. "Hold up," then she carried like bubble wrap, with the bubbles popped, just plastic, over her shoulder, and he wouldn't make a fuss. He was a bit of spare carpet ridden. Where others champed, he just embraced the bit, and didn't make a song and dance at it. He knew his place. Good dog, who would not cut a swathe on the dance floor, who would not stand up and defend the honour of his woman because he was short and you couldn't see him over the tablecloth, and his voice didn't carry very far above the salt shakers. And so her previous encounters with grizzly bears in Canadian provinces, where she emerged victorious, were shared, and the pears on her tree were shut for the choicest fruit. And everyone had a hoot in listening to extended chunks of her previous 20-odd years, and whistled bon voyage on this segment, like a grapefruit. May all bless her, and those who sailing her, good luck, became a sort of merriment, so she was multitudes. A speedboat revving with the outboard motor full of petrol, or a hulk dwarfing ocean liner making cower rocks. Nuclear submarine, enormous, defeating Commodore's ambitions in the North Atlantic. You wouldn't want her anchor on your nut. Pirates water carrying off if she was off the coast of Yemen. You can paint it any road up, she was a big un. In the raw, a woman born to gladden hearts, if those hearts were ones to which Byron's mate quicken, but thudded and looked in abandon, quivered like a common sparrow's, 1,000 beats a minute. I was a compromise like a man's, slow misdefined, pulse of the frogs, hibernating, passionless, and with a face to match, one of unending sufferance. Passive domesticus, in mud.